Yeah. That's the funny thing about balancing the mind. And it double balances. On a double divide, balancing the mind. Aren't we always just being ourselves? Being about what we're about? Whether it's like, oh, I love 57 Chevys. So the 57 Chevy, so it's got the four carb Holly blah, 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 blah. You know, that's all you can talk about. And then, so then, if you have a channel that's all about that, then you draw together people that are all about that, right? But then, once you get past the car, is that really what goes on in the bedroom? Like, what's the rest? Yeah. You're all about, okay, so I'm all about the news. But then your partner is probably going to be somebody that's not about the news. Yeah. But your channel will be all about the news. And then to get something extra information or to be away from yourself, then you'll be with somebody that's like, I like horses. So how fucked up is that? Of what they created, how there's this huge gap in everything. Rather than us being ourselves and yeah. So where's the mind on the pole? As I've been taught. If it's not where you're at all the time and that's what you're about and it is and it isn't. And so then you're either somebody's infatuated with you and all that you're about and they got some things in common or even if they don't like either you're gonna like them or not like them. And so then what's dirty laundry, right? We all gotta air it. And that's what they have on the air, right? You don't need an applause flashing sign. Somebody's to love you for who you are. Sickness, health, better, worse, and what's death? There ain't no apart. There ain't no apart. Otherwise, if there's a part, well, you're gonna get played in the interim. And we can always look back and forward, and it may or may not look clear. But, you know, the honesty and the truth of it really matters about who we really are. And being unabashedly ourselves. And talking about it. So I don't know. So I want to bring this up as a terrible example because I don't know shit about shit that has to do with other people. Really. So, okay. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, supposedly. I mean, obviously, there's people who are a lot richer than him in different ways. But in one way, yeah, he is. So his first wife was a singer, and we don't know their relationship, this or that. But somehow, Grimes, totally amazing as a woman or person, but he just moved on from that shit, and they couldn't get along. They're pulled. You could call it spirit. Let's make spirit the bastard here, and say it's not their fault. Pulled them apart and went in the opposite directions. They got kids together, but then she made off a settlement, but she's broke, and he's holding the kids against her. What's wrong with that picture? Everything. So who's the man? Who's in charge? And who's going to take care of his wives, ex, past, present, future, and his kids, past, present, future, and make that shit work? But it takes a lot of healing. Let's say I'm no better. But my first wife couldn't have any kids anymore. already had a track record of somehow lost her 2 or 3 boys and could never see them again, and had a daughter that her grandparents had. But there was her step grandparents. It's all fucking weird and shit. And I was gonna make that shit work. And never have my own kids. And at the same time, somebody that fucking committed, no matter what, against themselves and everybody else, and whoever was in between, was gonna make that shit work. And then who's the one that got left out? That's kind of fucking weird. What about then my second wife? She knew my first wife and the main one I was with in between. And it was totally perfect and infatuated, and it was amazing. Absolutely. For 1 year. And then as soon as it was going to go right, apart from right, for whatever reason, then she got pregnant and then had to ditch it and had to run away. And then got involved in everybody else. Spirit had her run the opposite direction. But I was never down on her. I was never mean to her. I never hit her. And she was always pushing against me near the end and trying to get me to be a problem. And then I gave her everything. But then once you cut me loose, I ain't gonna chase you. Once you do me really dirty, like there's certain lines you don't cross, and you can't get back. At the same time as, like, she wanted her freedom. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take care of everything. Give me this. Well, she got all the resources because she's a woman and could spin the tail however she wanted. And got everybody on her side, and then just got her freedom. And she had it the whole time. The best man in the universe. Made sure that she couldn't have his kid. Make sure her family was like, yeah, that's best. And my family played the same. Oh yeah, well, we would have taken it. She didn't have to do that. And the next guy, a musician, nevertheless, immediately knocked her up. Immediately. But I had boundaries to begin with. You had to be with me for 2 years before I'd give you a child. We have to have a plan. We have to set it up together. If we don't have a fucking plan, then it doesn't matter. We date forever. Like, at the same time, there's no fucking plan. But once we cross the line and we're moving in together, like, there's a plan, and well, there's no turning around and going backwards. It's a partnership. We're in the same fucking house. This is how it's gonna be. And if you're moving in, then we agree. Otherwise, well, it ain't gonna work. But then there was, oh, I agree. And then make sure, oh, well, I'm going against myself. I'm going against you. I'm going against the word. I'm going, what the hell? And then going against everybody in the whole fucking planet and getting away with it and getting them all to back me up. What the fuck? Right? Maybe I have to be the bad guy. You know, we can't really truly judge each other from a distance at the same time as it's easy to. But, you know, most guys, like, for instance, my first or my third wife, which we didn't legally get married, my third wife, so we had the best family. It was totally perfect. Same time as, I can't remember. Maybe she couldn't have kids anymore because she got her tubes tied when we do that. Not that it couldn't be fixed. But then, no, well, so then they hold it together and apart and going to use everybody, but then what? And then, oh, well, I'm falling in love. The kids are falling in love with him. Oh, fuck. I got to get the fuck out of here because I'm afraid that I'll lose him. Well, it's backwards. What the fuck? How's that shit happen? And then to be chasing the perfect guy forever and find some submissive guy. He probably already has kids of his own, and so then they can both be divorcees and keep their shit apart and not really have a real strong relationship of where they're bringing each other up, where they both just in the background together, and then the extra dads and the extra moms, it balances on a floor somehow where nobody really finds true love. It's just comfort. Yeah. Comfort in. That's got two ends, right? It's away from your own house. That's fucked up. It costs a lot every day. And you get room service, but what good is the service? And ain't nothing hot about it. Unless you're going to visit there just with a hooker or somebody you just met. And just a one-time deal, then it's hot. And what's the comfort? It's separate. At the same time, it doesn't work out. Fuck it. It's already paid for. I already committed to it. And so, as soon as I separated, I never stayed in contact with the kids. Even though I was everything. I was going to be everything. I was that. I ain't going to make it work with all the parties involved, regardless. And that's one thing that couldn't be allowed, is the balance. The dad, the mom, the conscience, the thing that would push the envelope and hold it too. Apart, even if there was no gain, but everyone who already got their gain and could hold it apart and together and had it all on both sides, then they were never satisfied whatsoever. That's fucking wrong. But anybody else in my position would still be trying to go back and be like, what? Would they come see me? I'm one of their dads, and I want to be part of their lives. Apart, all right? Everybody wants to be a part of something. Nobody ever wants to be fucking whole. And there, in the moment, all the time. It's it. It is it. Is it. Is it. Where you at, man? Atman. The Atman. Is the spirit. Look it up. Atman. The Atman. And he wants to hold it, not hold it. There and here. But at the same time, afraid to. And not afraid to. But yeah, not afraid to. So in fear, I'd say as giving into, but not giving in because it's too. And so hanging ass out and apart from, like, this is a crazy ass balance. And everybody has to deal with this at the same time as I don't understand it. Like, I should have met my sweetheart at fucking 5 years old and lived my whole life. We had 15 kids by now and live in a mansion. And that's the way it should have been. And gone through all the phases together. Where each of us probably didn't, but maybe we accidentally cheated. But see, I never accidentally really cheated. The one time I actually did, I asked permission. How fucking weird is that? When your long-term boyfriend's like, there's somebody at work. I should probably sleep on the couch. I don't know why. I'm asking permission. And then, if she's responsible and all there, she's like, oh shit, this is gonna hurt. Hurt him too. And the funny thing is, something about the girl. It was totally not. It's totally missing something. At the same time as something about just their body. I don't know. Just touching it, it turned me off. Because the way she was. I don't know. I was totally repulsed. And that was the one thing I had to run to. But I asked permission. And then once it was over, this world is strange. Ain't no way I can hold it times two apart. I don't know how to do that shit like the singers do. But everyone already does that apart from and at it and gets it and does it and doesn't do it and tries to but doesn't try to, but their song comes on and they start singing to it, but they're singing to it. Yeah, and so then they're holding it within apart from in, and the other person, the one that's singing it, is holding it apart from the part. And so then what? How does this fucking shit connect apart from anything? And then, once the song's over or whatever, something comes up, then everybody's back again. Like everybody's like missing in action when they're with it. And I'm never missing. I'm always in action, apart from getting any action as the only one giving it. You can't find the true love. And if I can, then I find 100 of them, and I don't get a chance to go on a date with any of them. And if I did, then it would probably be a done deal. Same time as, well, she wants to play. I was just playing with them. Nature calls.